This is Caesar Furman. I'm with the former undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, the Road Warrior, Glen Johnson. Glenn, thanks for spending a couple minutes with BoxingConfidential.com.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Glenn, what have you been up to since your controversial decision loss to Chad Dawson?
Not much of anything, man. Just sitting and waiting to see what the boxing world will still have in store for me. Everywhere we go trying to get a fight, we been turned down and been put on the holding list. So there's a possibility the Akano fight might happen November 11th. So we're waiting to see if that's going to materialize.
Yeah, and I was just going to get into that because Boxing Confidential today reported that it seems that Chad Dawson is going to vacate the WBC belt and forego his mandatory against Diacono to set up a fight with Antonio Tarver. And Glenn, as you know, you're the WBC number one contender. It sounds like you're willing and able to step in and take on Adrian.
Well, I definitely will fight any one of these guys anytime. All I need is the opportunity. And, Diacono, if he's the next guy on the list, then so be it. I'm here to entertain the people in the form of boxing and also try to make a buck or two to support myself. So, I'm in the business to fight.
Hey, Glenn, how soon can you be in fighting shape?
I stay in fighting shape. All you gotta do is give me the time and the place, man. I'm always ready. I stay ready. I keep boxing on my mind 24 hours because it is my main source of income. So, I don't lock the daisy. I keep that on the forefront at all times.
So you're willing to get on a plane and go to Romania if you have to fight Adrian Diacono?
Yeah, definitely we'll go to Romania to fight. I've traveled the world fighting, so that's nothing new for me. Romania is just a place that I haven't boxed in yet, but it's just another place on my agenda.
Have you seen Adrian Diacono fight, and how do you think a fight with him is going to play out?
He's a good fighter. I've seen him in a couple of fights. He fought at ESPN2. I think he was from Canada. I saw that fight. I saw another fight that he fought, I think, when he won his last fight. That was in his own country. I was there. I went there just to see him and see what he possessed. Because I figured it'll be not too long before we meet each other. And he's a good fighter. I mean, he's a short guy, have a similar style to a Mike Tyson, where he's trying to throw punches over the top and stuff like that, uppercuts, and he holds. So, he's a smart fighter. He knows what he has, and he uses it well. But I just believe that I'm on a different level.
So you definitely think that you'll come out on top in that fight. Glenn, you've been in the ring with virtually everyone in the light heavyweight division. Anyone who knows anything about boxing knows who Glen Johnson is. I wanted to get your opinion on a couple of possible upcoming light heavyweight fights. How do you see the Jones-Calzaghe fight playing out?
I think Roy Jones will beat him. I think Joe Calzaghe is a fighter that's highly overrated. He's a guy that slaps a lot, don't really throw real punches. And he built his whole career off hand speed, and he's going into the ring with a guy that's faster than he is. So he don't have anything else that he can bring to the table. So when you neutralize the hand speed, where we go from there, I don't see anywhere but down.
Okay, I have Jones. I think Jones is going to pull out that fight, although a lot of people don't think so. How about the Dawson-Tarver fight that seems to be materializing as we speak? How do you think that fight's going to play out?
It depends. Dawson is a guy that is able to adapt. I think if he runs, he run around, try to not engage in the fight like he did with me, he might could get a victory. I'm sure everything going to be in his favor. All the judges going to be told to give him a decision if it come down to that. So I look at him to might edge Tarver, who might win the fight in actual boxing. For the real boxing fans to look and see, that is kind of up in the air. I really don't know who would win the fight. When I fought Tarver, I know when me and Tarver fought each other, the fight, that was a tougher fight to me than when I fought Dawson. Dawson's fight to me was an easier fight. So, just judging off that, I would say Tarver definitely have a good chance of the fight, but it all depends on the judges. People keep saying the judge is incompetent, but I beg to differ. I don't think incompetent is enough reason for them to do what they're doing. I think it's just pure robbery, and they're told what to do, and that's what they go out and do. That's my opinion.
Yeah, to a certain extent, I got to agree with you, Glenn. I mean, personally, I thought you beat Dawson. I thought you came on real strong at the end. I thought you out-hustled the young man. He had his moments against you. He has pretty good hand speed, but I thought you came out on top. I'm sure you've seen that fight a couple of times. I don't know if you've watched it on tape or not. How do you feel? How did you score the fight, your fight with Chad Dawson?
I scored the fight 2 points for me. And even if you go back and watch the fight, and you listen to the announcers say that they have Chad Dawson up by 2 points. And at that point, there was 4 rounds left in the fight. And I don't see a round where Chad Dawson win. The last 4 rounds, I know I won them. If Chad Dawson was up by 2 points, I don't see how at the end of the fight, he was still going to be up. When I heard him after that, you know what I mean? I heard him and tried to get him out of there. He was successful in holding and maneuvering, but, I know I won the last 4 rounds of the fight. The judges, I think, only gave me 1 round of the last 3 rounds and have him coming out. They only gave me 4 rounds of the whole entire fight. I don't understand how anybody can see where I only won 4 rounds when two of the 4 rounds they gave me, I almost had the guy out. And I guess I don't know where they gave me the other 2 because there's so many other rounds that was mine. So I guess they just choose 2 out of those rounds to give me as well.
I gotta agree with you on that to a certain extent, definitely. But you know what? Bad decisions, robberies, incompetent judges, that's just part of this sport. And unfortunately for you, you've been on the wrong end of a couple of those. But I think the popular opinion, Glenn, is that you're still one of the top echelon fighters in the light heavyweight division. And honestly, my honest opinion, it's a shame what they did to you because it pushed you to the outside looking in, and it almost forces you to take this Adrian Diacono fight to sort of grab onto one of the belts, and hopefully you can find yourself back into that tournament at light heavyweight and find your way back into the game. I mean, would you agree with that?
Well, certainly. I mean, they robbed me, not just the fight, but they robbed me millions of dollars, and probably robbed me a year, because that's probably how long it will take me to get back to where I was in that fight, because, I won the fight and I was supposed to get the decision, and after I got that decision, I would be moving on to fight Natava for millions of dollars, and I would be in position to move on to other major fights and make the kind of money so I could close my career out. I'm 39 years old, and I'm fighting the young and the upcoming so-called future of the division, and did what I did to them. So, now I'm on the outside looking in, and I have to work all the way back to get back in the mix. And roughly that's going to be 2 or 3 fights down the road before I get back in the mix with the real fighters where I could make any decent money. You know what I mean? And that is the problem that I have with